question, I don't think we asked you about this before, but with Gus, I know you talked about not going into injuries, but is there any room for concern with him? Have you seen him working off to the side?
Yeah, it's just been great with Gus. He's an incredible worker. Incremental gains. That's what we're after. And he has been on a really good track. Can't wait to see. Can't wait to see when he's fully back to 100% capability.
Do you expect it by training camp?
That's likely. That's the likely high possibility. Yeah.
And Will Dissly working to this side too. Just how's he coming along?
Progressing good. I think he's going to be on track and in a good place as well.
Jim, a lot of guys have talked about attention to detail, players, and how they've noticed that as a part of your coaching style and your staff's coaching style. For you, where does that come from, sort of enforcing the importance of attention to detail in sort of building a team?
Just not just the team, but just in everybody's life. What their priorities are. Overall, arching. It's for me faith, but then you just go right down. It's family and team, self, family and team, self. All we ask anybody, really is, put their family first. Put themselves second, and then get the team in there third. Is ideal. Family first. That's for them. That's their God-given responsibility, and then themselves. Take care of themselves. And if they're, if they have attention to detail, and discipline, in taking care of their priorities, and if you really thought about it, they really did. If somebody really did take care of their family the way they're supposed to take care of their family. Really, stand guard, representing your family, earning a living, taking care of themselves the way they should. It's their health, their bodies. We call it this is your moneymaker, in football. And if they're really doing all those things the way they should, then they are taking care of the team. They're taking care of the team at a very high level. So, just an incredible tone setters and examples of guys on our team. There's so many everywhere you look around at every single position where, look at the guy who's really doing it right, and then emulate him, watch him, copy him, and then see if you can go make them proud of you.
When did you draw the line between having that emphasis on attention to detail and winning football games? What informed that for you throughout your life?
It's a lot of things, but number one is it's biblical. The word discipline comes from disciple. Being a good follower. I think that's where it starts. For me, it was my dad. It'd be just the way he trained me. From being a little kid was, hey Jim, whoever the expert is, that person knows the subject matter better than you do. Whether that's a coach, teacher at school, professor, whatever it is, doctor especially, that person knows the subject matter better than you do. If you listen to that person and do what they tell you to do, then you will be successful. So that's ingrained, like the DNA, and that's carried over whether it's football or anything else. That's the way I was learned to do it.
Jim, a few things that stand out most to you since OTAs and minicamps that maybe wow, I didn't think that was going to happen, or anything specific that you can bring up?
There's been some, definitely some huge seminal moments. Maybe I'll give you three. Day and a half, 1.5 practices in. Way back in April, it was clear to me, like, Derwin James Jr. Okay, guys, do whatever Derwin James is doing. However, the way he approaches the training environment, the way he approaches the meetings, the way he approaches the practices, what he wears, what he does, what he says, the way he goes from meeting to meeting, the way he communicates, and also, everything he does. Just that's how simple this is. It's hit me. I've been here a day and a half on the job, watching practice, and coach, should we, can I wear a sweatshirt with, a hoodie and is Derwin? Just look at number 3. Look at number 3 and do, everything that he is doing, and it's going to be really good for you. Justin Herbert, another tone setter on the team. Incredible in every way. There's that thought out there that I've heard it said that people that when they make a lot of money or they get complacent. Oh, not true. Not true. He is. It's been every minute, every hour, every day, completely engaged, tremendous tone setter, example setter for the entire team. I did say I had a third. Okay, here's a third. Something I've noticed with the team, we've taken advantage of every hour, every minute, every day that we've been afforded by the rules. We've stayed completely, within those rules. And the mandatory time, it's all voluntary, but we do have, time limits. And I've scheduled things within the team, to use every minute. What I've noticed about this team, and probably hit me a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4, but when I say, okay, we're stopping early, or we're cutting 30 minutes out of this practice or this weight session, then I just watch them do more. They do more than what they would have had I, scheduled it out. Player led. Hey, 30 minutes short, and then you watch it. It becomes like a beaver dam, of activity. The receivers and the quarterbacks are throwing, and it just hits me. Okay, they get as much or more or better work that way. Receivers, I mean, they're carrying cinder blocks for grip strength. I could give multiple examples. Defensive line, Morgan Fox, Scotty Matlock, the way they set the tone, the way they lead. So today's another one of those days. I mean, I know here's what it could be. Shorten it to this, then we'll watch the guys do as much or more. That's just the way they're wired, and that bodes really well.
I know you coached briefly with your dad at Western Kentucky, but what's it been like the past couple of years seeing Rick Minner and Jesse kind of be on the same staff and that father-son dynamic?
The father-son dynamic is that's really near and dear and close to my heart, and I love it. I love Rick Minner. He's seen a lot of footballs kicked off. Love talking football with Rick. Love the interaction between him and Jesse. My dad and myself. It's how'd you get so lucky? Watching Derwin James with his son yesterday after practice, just raises the small hairs, on my arm. That's what it's like, and what a great dad. I mean, he's just a great dad. And the other dads that come in, or moms, you know, or sister or uncle, that come to practice. I just love that dynamic. I mean, so many guys have been coached by their dad, you know, since they were, you know, whether it be on the field, off the field, life, and they know them. They know them so well, and I encourage them, coach them. You know, continue. Don't stop now, just because they're professional football players, or some of the. There's other dynamics too. You know, the dad that's been really pushed. Which a dad should do. I mean, who's going to push some? Who's going to push you if it's not going to be your dad or your mom or grandparent? You know, somebody close to you. You know, that's really pushed them hard. Like, hey, have your dad come watch you, and let him see you now. I mean, you're an incredible player. Just so many. They say it's all about relationships, you know, and that's think of your own lives. I see that on our team, I get a huge thrill from it.
Jim, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa both spoke yesterday and said that they told you, plain and simple, they want to win. What was your message to them when they told you that?
Let's get it. Gonna be here for you. You know, that may be one thing, maybe no things, maybe 10, 15 things. Obviously, they have done it at an incredibly high level throughout their career, and tremendous respect and admiration for not only of what they've done, but where they're at now and their desire to help our team.
It was about a month in between minicamp and training camp. Do you encourage players to go take vacations, or is it a time to really lock in between that time to prepare for training camp?
Yeah, I mean, we go over that with each individual player. I mean, it's definitely the time to do just the right amount of things. There's some guys that need some fat mass to come off their body that's gonna help them, and they're gonna be recommendation is gonna be do that. That's going to help you. That will help you. So whatever the right amount is, will be available to assist in that. Good thing about where we live, vacation is right here. We live on vacation here. So, for us coaches, trainers, we're here.
When you say you're watching when you give them their free time, and have you noticed leaders emerge?
Pardon?
Have you noticed leadership emerge? Can you see that before you put pads on, before you really get after it, sort of figure out who the leaders are of this group and who's being followed in those moments when players are expected to kind of lead as opposed to you and the coaching staff?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like, it's obvious, it's undeniable. And guys lead in different ways. I mean, there's example setters, tone setters, there's all kind of examples of leadership, but it's obvious. I mean, and I've named some of them. I mean, there's others. I mean, there's the ones I've said. Derwin, no doubt about it. Justin, no question about it. Rashawn Slater, no question about it. Trey Pipkins, Bradley Bozeman, several from the offensive line, the receiver room, the D line, Scotty Matlock, Morgan Fox, Joey Khalil. There's no doubt of Christian in the secondary. Oh, there's nobody bad. I mean, Derwin and Halloy. It's just do anything and everything that those two are doing. A young corner, a young safety. Don't have far to look. Denzel has been incredible. It's a growing number. It's a growing number, but there's,
Jim,
Scott,
You can see it. To answer your question, yeah, we can see it.
Is there a certain thing you prefer in that? Like, hey, I'd like you to, you're clearly a leader, they're following you, can you do it? Like, this is how I like it done. Is there something you prefer?
No, I don't. I mean, I prefer that it happens al natural, you know, in the team setting, you know, and you know, mainly like in all leadership positions, you know, guys follow guys that you know what they say doesn't conflict with what they do.
you mentioned Scott Matlock a few times.
Yeah.
What's jumped out to you about him so far this spring?
He's just all about his business, all about the work, all about the team, what he does. And it's like a lot of leaders. It's not about what they say; it's about what they do. I mean, what you do speaks so loudly that you can't even hear what you're saying. He smashed the conditioning test, and then he felt the ground was a little too soft because it had rained, you know, and we were in the late morning, and you know, I watched him go and you know, pat down the surface so it was harder for the next group that was running, making the surface harder so they could get their plant and turn. But just everything that he does, every way that he goes from meeting to the training environment to the practices, there every day. I mean, the power of the there every day, Ted, is so powerful. There's no question that you get better at football by being there every day. But you know, that's the nobody has to wonder. Nobody has to wonder, is Scott Matlock or somebody that's there every day, are they going to be there? Yeah, just look out in the seat and there they are, ready to go. You know, sitting on a spring, ready to get out to practice. You know, sometimes already tape dressed and ready to roll. So not only do I see that, but everybody sees it.
Jim, we had a great chat after your original news conference about the Rockford Files.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, can you describe what it was like doing your Jim Rockford trek out here, and was it the way you thought it might be?
Yeah, it was everything I thought, and even more so. I mean, we take over a new job. I didn't drive the RV. My brother-in-law, John Fearborn, did, but he got it out here, and then it played out, yeah, much like I really thought it would. It was tremendous experience. It just allowed me to do what I had to do, which was, you know, work 16, 17, 18 hours a day, and then return to the RV, you know, go to bed at 9 o'clock, and then be back to work, you know, 3:30, 4 in the morning, and no distractions. Distractions were down to to nothing, and felt the production was high because of that. And one thing I think I probably learned out of it was that the simple life's the best life. You know, unfortunately, it's not in the cards for me. You know, with 7 kids and a full-time job and lots to do. But you know, I realize that maybe someday they'll be. Hopefully not, but probably not in the cards. It's just probably not in the cards for guys like me, you know, and guys, the other coaches and the players and the staff. And I just want to say the coaching has been phenomenal. I take myself out of that. I'm talking about the position coaches, the coaches that are, you know, backup position coaches, analysts. I mean, you see them doing anything and everything. You know, the making of the scripts, the breakdown of the tape. I mean, the throwing of the balls when you're out of practice. Watch those other coaches, the way they're working. The position coaches have been phenomenal, each and every one of them at every position. And you see the coaching in the tape. You see it in the technique and the fundamentals that the players are using. Also bodes really well. But been total dedication from you know, the entire coaching staff, which you know, it's just a tip of the cap. Really been good.